of another week. Good afternoon. Yeah, so this is like the third time I've restarted the vlog because I can't think of a good way to do like, hey, it's the start of another week and it's 2 o'clock and I'm just picking up my phone now to record because literally I've been doing nothing. That's a lie. I did yoga, I cleaned, and I did Spanish. But other than that, I have been like doing zero. I need to post the chapter for my fan fiction today, which is great because I am finished. I've spent the past few weeks on my fan fiction doing the Onderon arc because, as you guys know, I'm doing my version of Clone Wars. And so past 3 or longer than that because it's every other week. So I've been doing the Onderon arc, and I just am posting the last chapter of that today, which is awesome. Next week I get to take a break because I'm just doing an interlude chapter, which I hope people will like. I don't want to give it away what I'm doing in that chapter, but I'm hoping it comes across as a very sweet chapter. And then I start I'm actually on season 5 right now, which is, I did not do a lot of season 4, so I did not cover that much of season 4 of Clone Wars. So I'm doing season 5 right now. And the next story arc I am covering is the Gathering arc, but I'm not doing the first episode of that arc, which was the actual Gathering episode where the younglings go into the caves and they find their crystals. I'm not redoing that one. I'm redoing the episodes that come after it. And then right after that, I think I do another interlude, and then I jump right into what is probably going to be one of the hardest arcs to write. I think it will probably be even more harder than the Umbara arc. The Wrong Jedi arc. That is probably going to devastate me. I don't know. That should be done hopefully before summer. In the end, I'm like almost done. I'm projecting the last chapter of this story will be posted in early September. So I should be finished in September. And then I have to start outlining the next few weeks the next story, which will be my version of Revenge of the Sith. And then I have one more story after that, and those two should be posted sometime in 2021. So let me break it down for you. I have been working on this series since I want to say 2016 is when I started. I have been working just on crossing battlefields since I want to say 2017. Since 2017, I've been working just on crossing battlefields, just on the Clone Wars series rewrite. And it is 2020. I'm going to be finishing that this year. And then next year, I'll be doing the last 2 stories in this series for a total of 11 stories that I have been working on for almost 6 years. Almost from 2016 to 2021. So yeah, that is a long time. So I will seriously know what it's like to write a Star Wars movie and a Star Wars TV show by the end. Oh my gosh, but I am loving it. It is worth it. It can get me down some days. I can get so frustrated, especially with my computer right now. I have an HP and everything was going good, but now it's doing this thing where it'll just randomly crash, and it's so frustrating, especially when I'm in the middle of a chapter, because I did it a couple weeks ago and I lost everything. Luckily I had a backup, so I was able to do that, but it's so frustrating. Oh, and by the way, guys, if you're wondering how winter in Michigan's doing, bright. It's not focusing. Dang it, my windows are dirty and it's way too bright out, but hopefully you saw, there we go. We have snow. Last time I talked to you guys, we've had one ice storm this year where we lost power for like a couple hours. We had another ice storm roll through like the first or second week of the year. We didn't lose power that time. It was close. And we just had a snowstorm, which I talked about on the videos that I posted last week, which I hope you guys enjoyed those 3 videos so much. That was just a snowmaker. It moved through. The road still got pretty bad and nasty, and it was still coming down. And right now it's what we call lazily snowing. It's snowing, but it's being lazy about it. So yeah. So right now it is actually bone-chilling cold outside. Like, my brother went out to take out some trash. He won't step foot outside again because it is that cold. Last night when I went to bed, it was 7 degrees. So like last night and tonight, it's supposed to be like single-digit cold. And then it's supposed to bump back up and by like Wednesday be almost 40 again. Which is great because I actually have a meeting Thursday So I told you guys I would talk about this in the first vlog of the year, which is just the vlog I have up so far. I told you guys that late last year, like right before New Year, I made the decision that I want to look into going back to school to get some sort of degree in law, so I can be like a paralegal, a legal secretary, and I was looking into that, and I had applied to Delta, and I had gotten in, and last week I had a list of steps to do, and one of those things was going to take a course placement exam to see what courses you would need, basic stuff like that. And so we actually drove out to Delta on Wednesday. My mom took Wednesday off because she's also going back to school. I've talked about this a lot of time, and she's my main inspiration. She's going back to school to get her master's in human resources. She will actually be done next year in 2021. She will be graduating with her master's. So she'll take some days off work because she's actually in like crunch time. She has a bunch of papers she needs to get written and stuff. And she also has to juggle this with training. We just found out she's flying down to Atlanta for a day, like one day. She has to go down to Atlanta for training. She's kind of excited because she actually likes flying. I've never been on an airplane. She was on an airplane first time ever. She went down to Arkansas for shareholders and she loved it. So she's excited. So she is flying down to Atlanta for like a day next month and then coming home. And she's also studying for school and stuff like that. And she has her diabetes on top of that. So it's very interesting. This is the first trip she will be taking where she will be flying, where she has to also be monitoring her diabetes, so that's going to be a learning experience. But she had taken last Wednesday off to do some schoolwork, and so she decided since I need to go out to Delta, just take me out to Delta. She and my brother could hang, she could do some schoolwork. We find where we need to take the test. They tell me I need to go talk to an advisor. So we do, and I go meet with an advisor. Now at this time, I was doing my end goal was just to get an associate's in legal support, which is basically a 2-year degree to be a paralegal or a legal secretary or something like that. That was it. I did not think I could do anything longer. I could not afford anything longer. And basically, here's the thing. My entire career going back to school to study law really hinges on the fact on whether or not I get financial aid and just how much I get. So we went to meet with the advisor. He got all my paperwork and we sat down and he's looking at it. He's like, okay, wow, you have like 96 credits. I have an associate's and it took me a while to get that degree because I struggled with college for the first few years I did it. It was really, really hard, especially when you think about the fact that I was going in there and I was doing elementary education and I cannot do higher math. And so it was a struggle and I bounced around and finally got my accounting degree in 2013 after starting college in 2006. So I was in college for 7 years to get a 2-year degree. So he's like, oh, well, I don't know. I don't think you're going to get financial aid. Let me go and check. So he went to talk to this guy for like 10 minutes in financial aid, which was across the hall from the advisory office. And he comes back and he looks at me and goes, yeah, you aren't going to get any financial aid. So that was it. No Pell Grant. If I wanted to do Stafford loans, I'd have to go through this whole thing and file an appeal to have my a new status issued where I'd be a student or something. And basically he said, but there's no chance they'll approve it. So basically he sat there and said, I get 0 financial aid. 0. And he didn't make mention of any scholarships, anything like that. Granted, Delta doesn't do a lot for just associates, and it is just a 2-year college. So he just sat there and basically said, no financial aid, but here, I'll show you the classes you need to take. And then he went through, printed out a list of all the classes I needed, and then crossed off all the classes I wouldn't need to take because I had already taken those classes or I had met from other schools. So basically he sat there, gave me a rundown, and they said, oh, and then we're looking at about $5,600. Are you paying out of pocket? And I'm like, no, that's why I asked about financial aid. And he's like, well, you can go meet with the financial aid guy, but they're not going to tell you any differently. So basically I sat there in like almost a half an hour meeting to be told, okay, here are the classes you need, but before we tell you that, we're going to crush your dreams to tell you that you're not going to get any financial aid from the government, any loans whatsoever, because you have made too much credits. And I'm like, oh my flippin' God. And I'm feeling my eyes tear up, like I'm about ready to cry because I need a better job. I love retail, I just don't want to be stuck in dead end, go nowhere retail jobs all my life. And I am so tired of people looking at me and thinking that all I got was an associate's and I can't do any better for myself. So I'm stuck. Like, it really hit home when I had a woman at the Halloween store tell her daughter that she was going to go to college because there was no way in hell her daughter was going to do what I was doing. And at that time, I was running the fitting room. And that's not what I did half the time. But she basically pointed me out to her daughter and said, "You are not going to be like this girl who doesn't have anything." And I looked at her and I went, "I have an associate's degree." And she's like, "Then you weren't doing anything." Like, it hurt that she just looked at me and said, "Oh, this girl obviously didn't go to college." Like, I went to college. I have an associate's degree. It's just that I can't get anything with that degree. So I really don't want people to look at me and see that and assume that I don't want to do, I'm not ambitious, I don't have any desire to go anywhere in life. I do. It's just that right now, where I live, it's not the best town. And you will talk to people around here and they will admit it. For young adults like me, this is not the best town to get a job in because there's no place hiring. And also, if you want to get in a bigger job, you have to have connections. So it sucks living here when you're job hunting. I love my hometown, don't get me wrong, but it just sucks in some aspects. So I'm sitting here about ready to cry because all I can hear is that woman in my head and then the memories of like all my teachers in elementary school who didn't believe that I could graduate high school, let alone go to college and get a degree. And let me put it this way, out of the class, I belonged to a class with 21 kids. Out of that class, it was myself and I think 3 other kids that actually graduated high school. And I think I was the only one that went on and graduated from college out of those kids. And I was the one they said would never go to school, would never finish high school, let alone go to college. So and I hear all these voices in my head and I'm about ready to cry because I'm just like, oh my God, this is literally my life. I'm not going to go anywhere. Leave that meeting, go and talk to my mom, and I tell my mom, this is it. I have to give up. There's no chance. And she says, why don't you go to Davenport and try for a bachelor's? Like, that thought had never occurred to me whatsoever because I know I am far from the smartest person on the planet. And it was a struggle for me to get used to college to begin with. So it never occurred to me. And I often said, once I finish college, I'm never going back. And now I'm going back. And my mom's like, well, register at Davenport as a returning student and see if they offer a bachelor's. Davenport offers a bachelor's in legal studies, which is preparing you to go on to law school or a career as a paralegal or stuff like that. I would just need to get, I think, separate certification to be a paralegal. So my mom says maybe if you apply to do your bachelor's program, maybe you can get financial aid. So that's what I've done. I've applied to Davenport as a returning student to do a bachelor's in legal studies. And I have an appointment this Thursday with an admissions counselor. And I'm hopeful it goes well. I'm hopeful this means I can start school this fall and that I'll have the financial aid and I can go and I can get this degree and I can get a better job and I can finally be making enough to pay back student loans, to get a car, to move out, to find my own place, to finally start my own life. Like, I loved it when I was on Mackinac Island and I was virtually independent. It was amazing. And that's what I want. It's like, here, I feel like I'm stuck in the same rut. I'm always going to be little Katie Letts. I'm always going to be Mark and Non's daughter. I kind of want to make a name for myself, and I'm finding that kind of impossible here. And so I'm just crossing my fingers, and I posted on the Fempire about this. I'm like, I'm hopeful, but at the same time, after Delta, after hearing what they told me about my financial aid situation, I am readying myself for the inevitable to hear that I will not get financial aid and I just have to be content doing retail. So, oh my gosh. So this is hard and I just want to know for sure because I feel like I'm still applying for jobs, but I'm so focused on trying to discover if I can go back to school or not. It's just so frustrating. It is a vicious cycle. To get work in this day and age that actually pays well and makes money, you have to go to school, but you have to have a degree above an associate's. If you don't have that, you have to take out more student loans to go back to school to get a better degree to pay off the student loans. And it's just a really vicious cycle and it sucks so much, but this is what being an adult is about. And I don't think I like it very much. Ugh. But it is what it is. I mean, I'm going to try to keep a positive attitude. I'm going to keep job hunting. Hopefully I find something. It's just sometimes I find it so hard when I stop and think about it and go, I just hear the voices of all those people in my head telling me I'm never going to be able to do the stuff I want to do because of who I am and where I came from. And I've had to literally fight and claw my way to where I'm getting good grades, to where I was on the honor roll, to where I was on dean's list, to where I am today. I felt like I've had to claw and bite and scratch my way through my education to get here. And now it feels like I want to take another step and there's like a giant roadblock and it just sucks so much. But I am hopeful. I will always be hopeful. I am the eternal optimist. So I'm sure, I believe this will all work out. If not, I will just have to look at the brighter side of being in retail and maybe I can find a job where I can move up in the world. I don't know. I just know I want something and I have to, and law is that something, and I just need to do something soon. So I'm going to go bonkers. I'm already going bonkers. Good news is I finished my virtual run. One last thing. I did the Star Wars Virtual Lab Marathon. I finished that Friday. My time was worse this year. I think my time was just over 5 hours. Last year was about 4 hours. And this year was just over 5 hours. Last year the weather wasn't too bad till like the last 3 days of the race. That was when I ran it, like the last 2 or 3 days were horrible. This year, almost every single day I went out to do it was bad. So it took me a little bit longer this year to get it done, but I did get it done. So now that is out of the way. So now I can focus on like job hunting, other stuff. And also the next races don't start until June, but I think I'm going to start signing up for them in April. So yay. So with that being said, I'm going to sign off for the day. I will be back later this week and hopefully I will be able to tell you guys good news about the meeting at Davenport. So talk to y'all later. Hi guys, it is Thursday. We just got home. Actually, we came home and then my brother and I went to Speedway to get some drinks. Anyway, happy Thursday. As you can tell, take off my glasses so the glare's not bad. I am a little bit licky nice today. I put on some makeup. You guys probably can't see that, but I did put on some makeup. I am wearing, oh geez, now I know why. Quick. And back. I had to flip the camera around. Anyway, as you can see, I am nice. I am wearing a shirt my mom got me for Christmas that I am loving. And it's a junior, so yay. But today was the day of my meeting at Davenport to talk about college. Made some slight adjustments there. It was a little bit better than the meeting at Delta. I switched. I'm an active now, which means, okay, so before I get to that, I actually went in with the idea of being a bachelor's in legal studies, but I talked to the advisor and all my classes would have to be online. Well, I talked to her and she revealed that they don't do, I had a snack in case I got hungry, that for legal studies, they don't offer online classes and they don't offer any of those classes here at the Midland campus. To get to do legal studies at Davenport, you have to go to the main campus, which is in Grand Rapids, which I don't particularly want to do, and I don't think my parents particularly would want me living out in Grand Rapids either. We're not big city people. So I'm like, oh, and she's like, so she talked to me and stuff, and then she threw out something I had never really thought about before, which is getting my degree in marketing, because I have worked so long in retail. I mean, seriously, I worked in retail since 2015. I worked in retail. I dabbled in graphic design, and she said based on my personality and stuff, she just thinks marketing would be a better fit for me. And the more I talked to her about it, the more I went, yeah, I think it would be a better fit. I'm sorry, guys. I am taking apart my Loki bag to put it into storage. Because I really only use my Loki bag when I want to look really nice. Because it's such a pretty bag, and it's the most expensive of my bags. But yeah, so I'm like, oh yeah, marketing sounds good. So I switched my major to marketing. I think I'm going to do, I don't have to pick an area to specialize in yet, but for my electives, I would only have to take 19 credits. That's all I'm missing to get my bachelor's in marketing, which is insane. And the classes are like 7 weeks each. So I could do like one class for 7 weeks and basically do 2 classes a semester. I think I might push myself and try to do 3, maybe do 4, do 2 7-week classes. Because I think I've done that before. It really wasn't that hard. I think I did that with my accounting. But that's all I'm missing, and then I would have my bachelor's, 19 classes. So I had to take 4 electives, which is like the bulk of what I'm missing. Like I'd have to do a legal class, which is still great. And like statistics and data analysis and stuff like that, which I'm not an analytical person, but I do like that stuff. So that would be kind of fun. But then like I have to pick an elective, and I can do general marketing or I can do digital marketing. And then there's a third marketing. I think I'm going to do, if this all go through my electives, I think I'm going to do digital marketing. I don't know what I would specialize in yet though, because I can pick a concentration, like an area to really, really study. But I don't know. I just know that I'd love to do marketing, and I'd like to do something related to tourism here in Michigan, because we are I talk about how pretty much every city in Michigan, no matter how small, is kind of set up to be tourist friendly, even where I live. Even if it's not like a big wild tourist destination. I really would love to do something like related to tourism, for like families, really promoting family friendly things you can do here, things young adults can do here in Michigan. I'm a young adult, and I know there's tons of stuff young adults can do in Michigan. I just don't think that it's really advertised. Like we had a travel campaign called Pure Michigan, which was awesome. It was great, but I wish there was more stuff. So I think I would love to do marketing and get involved in promoting tourism here in Michigan, particularly like exploring like the natural wonders. Because a lot of tourists, when they come here, I don't think they realize that there's a whole lot of stuff to do in the UP related to the history of Michigan and the nature and environment here in Michigan, because the UP is pretty much like 70 to 80% undeveloped. And like I said, Michigan is probably the biggest industrialized city. After that, you're like not really industrialized all that much. So I'd love to promote stuff like that, and like promote like Michigan-based authors and artists, and do like that sort of marketing, like do it for my state, help my state grow and thrive in the 21st century. So I think I want to find some way to specialize in that. And like I told my brother, I think I would like, if this all happens, I'd really think I would like to get this degree and then find a job and move up north to really like help out there, because I love it up there. It's beautiful, and I don't think a lot of people appreciate it. But all this hinges on, as I said before, getting financial aid. And I feel a little bit more hopeful than I did after talking to them at Delta last week, where they basically said, no funding. The woman I talked to said it's a little bit of a red flag, but she couldn't really do anything because I had not yet declared my status as an active student. So I did that today. I declared my status as an active student. I declared my major to be marketing, a bachelor's in marketing. And so she did all that. And so next week I'm going to call the financial aid office. I have their number, so I'm going to call them and see if they have the reward for me. And once I get all that financial stuff taken care of, if it all works out, then after February 10th, I can call Stacy, the advisor, again, and I can schedule my classes up to spring of 2021. So a little bit of a better meeting. First thing I have to do tomorrow is I have to call the IT department at Davenport, because I was a student there. They still had all my information on record, including my student number and the login name I have for the Davenport student thing. So they didn't have the password, so I have to call IT tomorrow, and I'm going to set up a new password. So that is what I have to do tomorrow. And then next week, get in touch with financial aid. I would do that tomorrow, but the financial aid lady has been out sick. So I really don't want to call tomorrow, so I'm just going to call next week and just keep trying. And yeah, so hopefully after my birthday, everything works out and I'll be able to tell you guys great news. I am officially back in school. But yeah, I got a course catalog for this year to look over. She dog-eared marketing. I don't know where it was. Oh no, there's a dog ear. So she dog eared the marketing classes I need. She gave me the welcome packet they give new students, even though I'm not a new student. I wish I had mentioned that I was a member of the National Society for Leadership and Success, because I am, but I don't, because she mentioned that if you belong to certain organizations, if you do certain things, if you have a certain job, you get discount on your classes, and most of that is to do with the nursing side. So I don't know if I'd get anything for being oh sorry, the light is bad, a member of the National Society of Leadership and Success, which I became the last time I was at Delta. So I don't know about that. So yeah, so overall it was a much better meeting than the one I had last week at Delta. Last week at Delta, I was like, yeah, and I'm like, really? So a little bit more hopeful. I'm still kind of like in my mind going, I have to be resigned to the fact that they're probably not going to give me any funding, which my mom says she doesn't understand, because she had no issue getting financial aid to go back and get her master's after going back to school. She had no issue getting financial aid. So she doesn't understand why I would be having why they're giving me so much grief about not being able to get me any sort of financial aid or student loans. So so I don't know, cross my fingers, it all goes well. I'm really, really hoping it goes well. And I just sat here and realized, oh my God, marketing, I could be Pepper Potts. I'm not that smart. Oh, by the way, I would like to introduce you guys to someone. Dean! My mom and my brother went to the store before I went out to my meeting, and my brother got new jeans. My mom got a t-shirt that is cute. It has a corgi on the front with a crown, and on the back is the corgi butt. We love corgis in my family. And for me, she got me this, which she says is a llama. I took a picture of it and I asked the girls on Fempire, what should I name him? I wanted to have a Star Wars theme, and the name I liked was, somebody said he looked like a tauntaun, so call him Tawny. And I'm like, oh my gosh, be like Tawny Stark. And I'm like, oh, that would be perfect, because like Tony. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it would be perfect because I'm also a huge Marvel fan. She's like, yeah, Tawny Stark. And that's the one I was going to go with. That was going to be Tawny Stark, the llama. And my mom did not like that name. To be fair, she didn't like most of the names. Like one girl said Chewbacca, one said Armor, because I had put that I'm thinking about giving him a Mandalorian name. Someone said Mandalamian, which I burst out laughing. One person said Darth Palpatine. And I'm reading these on the way back from my meeting. My mom was like, no, his name is Luke the Llama. And I'm like, originally it was Leo. Then she changed it to Luke the Llama because Luke Skywalker. So I get my Star Wars name. His name is Luke the Llama, and he's from Tatooine. And his wife is Leia. And I'm like, Mom, Luke and Leia are twins. They can't be twins. Then that's a problem. So his name is Luke the Llama, and I posted that, and one of the girls went, he's an alpaca, look at his ears. And I told my mom that, and she goes, he's a llama. And I'm like, okay. So my mom is like very territorial over the giant llama. She got me because my favorite, so I have Sugi Sloth, which is actually named after a Star Wars character. Her original name was Sally Sloth, or Susie Sloth, but I renamed her to Sugi Sloth. Sugi is a bounty hunter who appears in Clone Wars. So I have Sugi the Sloth and Luke the Llama. I love my mom. She is not a huge Star Wars fan, but she is like, she is very territorial over things. So yeah, so I will get going. I will do a quick outro tomorrow for you guys. Actually I'll do one now because this video is getting kind of long because the first one was 10. So I'll say goodbye for today. I don't have anything planned for this week at all. We're going into lockdown mode again because we're supposed to get another round, another storm this weekend. So we had one last weekend, which was just snow. We had one the weekend before that, which was an ice storm, which I think is the one where we lost power. And we're supposed to get another one this weekend, which is supposed to be a mix of, which is supposed to be sleet, so snow and ice. And that's supposed to be tomorrow and Saturday. And I feel so bad because my godmother, she cannot drive and she wants to go to church. And so my mom said she would drive her to church, and I think I will go with them a couple Sundays. My poor godmother, she has not been to church for the past 2 Sundays because the weather has just been so bad on Sunday. Like she will not go out if it's icy. So it's been icy, and so she hasn't been able to get to church. And I feel so sad for her. So yeah, so So we're just gonna hunker down this weekend, be a nice weekend, and watch some more Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I am watching Thor on Sunday. I would love to finish all the Marvel movies by the time Black Widow comes out, but Black Widow comes out in like less than 100 days. I don't know exactly how many Marvel movies there are because I have never counted and I'm only watching one a week. So I don't think I'm going to finish by the time Black Widow comes out. But that's okay. That's okay. That's great. It is what it is, but I'm super excited. Thank you guys so much for watching my reactions for the Black Widow special look, the Morbius trailer, and the Clone Wars final season official trailer. I think that one took everybody off guard. They're like, here you go. But yeah, it was amazing. So thank you guys so much for watching that. Thank you for watching the video I did about Elsa's powers. Thank you guys for continuing to watch and support my channel. I know I'm not like the biggest, I know I'm far from being like a big YouTube influencer, but thank you guys so much for watching. So yeah, I will sign off for the week. I will be back next week. So you guys stay safe, stay sane, have a great weekend. If you're here in Michigan, hunker down for the storm. But then again, this is Michigan. It might not actually do anything in the end. I just think we should change our state's name to Sybil in terms of weather. So thank you guys so much for watching. Sending you all lots of love, hugs, and prayers, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.